game in the first half, but he's going to constrict it down as you come down the stretch.
He's lost a little bit of weight there, Butch,
Yeah.
in his 12th season. He's taken 665 overall wins. In the black and controlling the tip with the white numbers, white and red trim. Barry Buccaneers going right to left. Gabe Hernandez, the left-hander. He is an outstanding ball handler, very quick. He goes a stop-and-go move. He kicks it out high to Jamel Lane, who's the scorer. He left Lynn and ended up down here at Barry, and knocking down a little bank shot in the lane is Sammy El Kamel.
Yeah, but that was about 5 feet. He turned around and threw it up off the glass in the middle of the lane. He didn't call glass.
Averaging about 5 a game. Looking back door for Malavex. It's not there. And that ball's stolen away by Roberts. Roberts will give it to Hernandez. His 15-footer's off the mark. Nice rebound, Dylan Wally. Here comes Frericks. They work it on the left side. The two Butkus down low is Dylan Wally, and he scores.
That was a diagonal pass through the lane from Butkus to Wally. Wally wide open, laid it in. Under 19 to go early on here, 2-2.
Here's Bradley bouncing it on the blocks. Roberts will fire. He will miss, but El Kamel, a tough rebound, and scores.
Yeah, that's the killer when you get a guy to shoot an air ball like that and El Kamel grabs it and lays it back in. That's a version of volleyball.
Yeah, the air ball shooter does not get an assist either on that one. Frericks now to Sergey. 30-point outing. Oh, Malavex had open lane, did not take it. Frericks baseline. He will kick it to Butkus with 10 to shoot. Screen by Rashayev, and Butkus will drive. Frericks baseline. Jumps it up and hits a 15-footer.
We're knotted at 4 here at the 18-15 mark. Both teams up and down, pace pretty heavy. That's too easy.
Yeah.
Gabe Hernandez, one of their top scorers at about 14 a game, goes down the court, lays it in, and is fouled. No one stopped the ball. 18-12 to go.
End to end, and he's very quick, the left-handed shooter.
Not only that, he's mostly left. He's a left-hander. He goes left. He went left. He stayed left. He got to the basket left.
Puts that right foot well behind the left. Misses the free throw. Hernandez, 82%. They shoot about 70 as a team. 6-4. Barry with the lead. Malavex now to Grashayev. He's got El Kamel coming out high. I want him to body him up. Three-pointer Butkus. Back iron.
Barry all man-to-man so far. Pretty aggressive, fighting over the screens.
El Kamel works it over to Jamel Lane, and he'll fire one up and in. He was a big scorer as a freshman at Lynn. Went up to Northwestern State. They are the Demons in Louisiana. And then came back to this conference, but did not go to Lynn. He came to Barry. Malavex trying to drive, but now kicks it to Frericks with 12 to shoot. El Kamel all over Grashayev, but he'll load up and miss a shot. Beautiful stick back by Malavex. That bounced a little bit long, and Malavex was there.
Yeah, when he can play like that, we're a different and better team.
Jamel Lane to El Kamel. He cannot handle the pass, but it comes back into the hands of Barry. But it was tipped out of bounds first.
Yeah, that was Daryl Smith, the official down on the baseline. He saw that. He called it. Barry on the baseline. Rollins ball.
Butkus to inbound. Needs help. Needs a lot of help. He's going to throw that one away.
That's as unforced a turnover as they get.
Frericks tried to make a move to get open, but Butkus' pass was well wide. You cannot make those kind of mistakes here. Butch Estes, the veteran, he's been all over the place, mostly in the Carolinas. He's a graduate of the University of North Carolina. And driving, missing the shot. Lane gets his own rebound, throws it up, and will shoot a couple. Butch Estes coached at Presbyterian, coached at Furman, and then took some time off, went back and coached at Guilford, a college up in North Carolina. That's the alma mater of Lloyd World Be Free.
Guilford's Division III, right?
I believe
I think
so,
it is.
yeah.
Robert, it's eerily similar to the way this game went down there at Barry. They really have three guys that do the bulk of their scoring in Stanley, Jamel Lane, and Gabe Hernandez. Those are the guys that have gotten involved today. And I'm telling you, they brought Bradley 3 off the bench, Michael Bradley 3, and then he hurt us. And that's kind of how they got it done.
Lane hits them both, 62% shooter. Dylan Wally gets pressure from Michael Bradley. And Bradley working on Dylan Wally. Wally is quickly up court, however. Now Frericks. And they were doing a double team on the ball, and that ball tipped by Gabe Hernandez. 15 to shoot. Really chest to chest, man to man. Malavec's down low. Oh, he had a shot after getting the defender up. Did not take it, and Wally will miss the 3, but it will be tipped out of bounds by the Buccaneers. Michael Kalina, 6'1" sophomore out of Boca Raton, will check in for the Tars, and Frericks will inbound. Wow, that was an interesting inbound pass. Malavec's way out, and he hits the 3.
We talked about that before the game. The more Matus Malavec's helps you, the better you are as a team, for sure.
Malavec started his career at Evansville. That jumper's off the mark, and rebounding it is Kalina. Then went to Eastern Florida and came here. Evansville, by the way, are the Purple Aces. Here's Grishayev playing him real tight. Bodying him up is Adrian Roberts. And now we got a foul, I think, away from the ball. Let's see what this call is. And it will be foul number 1 on
Long. I don't recall him getting hurt against us. I could be wrong.
We're at the midway point of the season. Nova 9-1, PBA 8-2. Florida Southern and Lynn both 7-3. Here's Frericks now with 20 on the shot clock. Tars trailing by a point. Rashayev is scoreless. Elkamel doing a great job. The 2 is up. The 3 is up from number 2, Frericks, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a lead over Barry like they got over us down there and make them play uphill.
Here's Roberts backing it in on Butkus. He'll turn and fire and miss. Kalina cleans the glass, and here comes Michael Kalina. Frericks between the circles. All over him is El Kamel. Good defense so far. Frericks will take it inside and have it knocked away and out of bounds.
It's going to stay on the Rollins end. 15:05 to go here in the first half. Tars lead 12-10 and have the ball. He's Robert Siegel. I'm Jim Farrow. This is Rollins men's basketball.
There's Frericks now between the circles. 10 to shoot. 5 minutes into this one. Tars up by 2. Tars still up by 2, but rebound by Malavec. He should have put it right back up. He was in the paint there, couldn't do it. And Rashayev looking back door for Malavec's not there. Kalina, they're not going to play him as a shooter. Here's Butkus down the lane, flips it up, and that was way off the mark. Quickly up, three-pointer is up and in by Bradley. That's mostly what he does is shoot threes, but only at a 33% clip. But that one was at a 100% clip. Kalina now takes it all the way in. Kicks it to Rashayev. 3 up, 3 down.
3 needed by the Tars as they go up 15-13 at the 14-13 mark of the first half.
That was a nice play by Kalina to drive and dish. Wide open and another 3. This will spin out from Roberts. Michael Kalina with the rebound. Kalina once again showing drive. Will kick it back out to Butkus. Butkus from Vilnius, Lithuania. That would be the capital of Lithuania. That ball tipped and will go out of bounds off of the Buccaneers.
Cedric Bennett across the court on the call right there in front of the Barry bench. 13:45 to go here in the first half. And
86th meeting between these two old rivals. Tars with a 53-32 advantage, but the last one belonged to the Buccaneers. Down at the Health and Sports Center, right here is Frericks cut off. Now gives it off Ian Hard, who has checked in, the Duke of Paducah. He was up against the shot clock and needed to shoot that ball. Instead tried to pass cross court. It went out of bounds. 15-13, Rollins with the early lead. 6.5 minutes in, Gabe Hernandez.
This is a guy we definitely don't want to heat up. We'd like to keep the lid on this guy Hernandez.
Jumper from the corner, and the three-pointer is good by Bradley, who turns and says something to the Rollins bench. Everybody's got to showboat a little bit, I guess, nowadays. Baseline, kicks it up to Ian Hart. Kalina will load up a three and hit it.
Michael Kalina, the right side of the top of the key, kind of the right edge, hits a three and puts Rollins back up 18-16. We're on a bit of a seesaw here.
It's only his second of the year, and missing that shot, battling is Ian Hart for the rebound. Ian is the Duke of Paducah here. The redshirt freshman driving is Frericks, cannot get it to go. Kalina knocked it away from El Camel, but back in the hands of the Buccaneers. Here is Hernandez. Works it to the far side. El Camel. He is a load in there. Hernandez three comes up short. Another rebound for Ian Hart.
12:22 to go. First half, Tars ball and a 2-point lead.
Ian Hart. Oh, they're playing really tight. He should be able to get some back doors with the way they're playing defense. Here's Hart. Oh, he had a back door. Gives it to Malavex. Back iron on the three. Back come the black-clad Berry Buccaneers. Red and black are their colors. The three is missed by Lane. And away will come Frericks. Frericks to his left to Kalina. Out of Malavex. Crowd rather quiet for some reason. Here's Grashayev. He puts it on the floor. Spins. Oh, it comes up short with his little turnaround. About a 7-footer there. And now timeout on the floor.
Yeah, he was making a drive, was Grashayev. Got to about 8 feet, and then the drive fizzled out, and then he took.
Great.
He's one of the nicer gentlemen in the conference. He's great.
Jay Pope, my plumber, may be in the house today. Said he was going to try to come. If not, he's going to be listening. In the ballgame will come Jakari LeCount for the Buccaneers. He's a 6-foot senior out of Miami. Also in the ballgame, wearing number 2 is Gavin Welch, 6'5" sophomore from Newcastle, Indiana. Here's this three-pointer. Wow. Well-defended three, and Bradley knocks it down, and that's his third three of the ballgame.
Yeah, Bradley's kind of displayed that he's comfortable playing against us. He played well down there and here, and now Barry's back up on top, 19-18.
Ian Hart, who was defending that three and doing a pretty good job, now throws a pass on the baseline. It's tipped out of bounds as Butkus will check back in. Butkus is scoreless in this ball game so far, averaging 18.5 points per ball game. Dylan Wally, Frericks up. Frericks down with a three.
21-19 Tars.
And they work it down on the baseline. Also in the ball game, Pete Moe. Pete Moe is a 6'9" freshman out of Iowa, and he will miss the shot. Nice rebound by William Job, whose dad is in the house, Steve. And we send out greetings to all the folks up in St. Simon's Island, Don and Billie Jean, grandparents, Beth and Nancy, William Job's sisters as well. Tars up by 2 as we reach the halfway point of the first half, and there's 9 to shoot. Butkus got to shoot it. Butkus. Somebody shoot it. Frericks shoot it. Kalina, and he will, but he'll miss everything.
Michael Kalina got.
How many passes did I call while 5-4-3 was on the clock?
He got caught up against the shot clock. I'm not sure. He tried to roll something up there, and it hit the side of the backboard, and the shot clock expired. 9:15. Not his fault. I'm laughing because he got caught without a chair.
Yeah. Here's Moe. I wondered if he was in any relation to Doug Moe, a great player from New York City and out of North Carolina, and throwing the ball to Frericks, who was not looking, was Butkus, and now Butkus shoot it. He will drive and dunk
Well, Emilus Butkus likes to put it down and get to the rim. He did right there, and he dunked it at the 9:40 mark. Tars lead 23-19.
Welch will work it on the baseline to Moe. William Jobe on him. Moe in traffic. And we're going to have a foul on William Jobe.
Jobe and Moe got all tied up against each other, and the call went against Jobe. That was Cameron Padgett on the call at the 9:13 mark.
El Camel back in. Hernandez and Jamel Lane after getting a little breather. And another breather for Beau Frericks as back into the ball game, or just for the first time, Michael Neiman, and another bank shot by El Camel. Wow. Averaging 5, he's already got 6, and that's a 2-point Rollins lead. Butkus picked up by Jamel Lane. Tries to kick it back door to Kalina. Nice ball faking by Kalina. He got Hernandez up and scored. Here's Hernandez coming back, missing the shot. Butkus with a tough rebound. And will send out Kalina. Kalina kicks it over to Neiman. Jumper. Got it.
Tars getting some guys into the game, and the guys they're putting in are producing, and that's a 6-point lead for Rollins at the 8:30 mark on the Neiman 2.
Here's Welch now working the Bradley, who's hit 3 threes. Now will take it in traffic and hit about a 10-footer.
So far this game, the spigot is wide open for Michael Bradley. He cuts it to a 4-point Tar lead.
Yeah, he's already got 11, averages 8. Michael Bradley. Now Neiman from Frisco, Texas, gives to Dylan Wally. He'll back it out. And back to Kalina. Screen by Jobe. Neiman wants to go baseline. He'll pull up, and he'll miss about a 16-footer. Up quickly and firing a 3 way off the mark. William Jobe will run down Bradley's finally missing a 3. 4-point Rollins lead. We got 7:30 remaining in a quickly played first half. 3 fouls on Rollins, 1 on the Buccaneers.
Timeout Rollins at the 7:29 mark here in the first half. I don't know. We just kind of blew through the under 8 more. And these guys, they run. They want to score in the open court. They want the easy bucket. Then they want to trap you and turn you over.
They lost their leading scorer, Nick Anderson, transferred to Furman, where he's averaging about 12.5 per ball game. One of the schools that was coached by Butch Estes back in the day. Here is Grishayev. 3-pointer is up. 3-pointer is in for Neiman.
Neiman left corner hits a big 3, puts the Tars up 7.
Hernandez, they work it up quickly. That's really finding the open shooter because there was a double team out high. Driving and missing and tipping, and Malavex will rebound the ball. And we're going to have a reach-in by Jamel Lane.
Yeah, that was Cedric Bennett on the call, and he said Jamel Lane leaned in and reached into Matus Malavex at the 7:03 mark. Tar basketball, lead by 7. Butkus to inbound.
First foul on Jamel Lane, the second on the Buccaneers. Here's Grishayev. He's had a quiet day so far. Frericks will get it to Butkus. Grishayev is going to set the screen, get the ball open. Oh, you were open, and now he goes down the lane and will draw the foul. That little slip screen that Craig Reichel made famous for the Tars. You fake like you're going to screen and go right down the lane.
Adrian Roberts fouled Grishayev at the 6:44 mark. That's Roberts' second.
Yeah, that's the kind of play you need when you got pressure man-to-man. And you got to go back doors and slip screens and that sort of thing. Sergey, the big left-hander, that's the second foul, by the way, on Adrian Roberts.
First free throw for Grishayev, good. Tars lead 8. He's going to try and make it 9 at the 6:44 mark here in the first half. Both teams with 3 personal fouls.
About 70% shooter, hits them both. He's got 5. Tars lead by 8 or 9. That was their biggest lead. Scoreboard's a little slow tonight. 3-pointer is up in the corner, and you can't give Lane that much room.
Lane was talking over to the bench, too. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know.
These guys are hitting threes in front of the bench, and they've got some verbiage.
Got to showboat a little bit, don't they? Most players do it nowadays for some reason. Grashayev to Butkus. And Malavec was open, didn't shoot it. Now Malavec will kick it to Frericks, ball fake. Now top of the key. Up goes the three. It won't drop for Grashayev. And quickly up court will come Jamel Lane. And there's the three going off the mark. And that ball hit out of bounds. That will stay with Barry.
Reggie Reinhardt checked into the game. He couldn't wait to load that three in transition.
He shoots more than 80% of his shots beyond the arc.
Yep.
Reinhardt, he's 37% shooter. He is from Wellington, Florida, down there. He did not play in the first game between these two. And here he is with the ball. 15 to shoot, Gabe Hernandez. And here's Jamel Lane. That one's going to hit off the top. And that, said Cameron Padgett, it is out of bounds. Check that. Cedric Bennett made the call. Cedric's a long-time official and a good one in this league. I remember one particular call he made many years ago. Won't retell it, but it was a gutty call away from home. Here's Frericks up with the three. Buries it.
Tars lead at 35-26 on the heels of that Frericks three. And I tell you, I was going to say earlier, whenever you can get Jamel Lane for Barry to shoot the three, you're in business.
And a 15-footer. They'll give El Kamel that one. He missed it, and the Tars come away with it in the white, going left to right. Frericks on the dribble, being picked up by Adrian Roberts. Butkus, who has been really quiet, one bucket. Now will back in against the smaller Hernandez and hits the 15-footer. Woo. One of the Tar players hit the rim there. I guess they didn't see that. Butkus with 4.
And that's an 11-point Tar lead at the 4:50 mark here of the first half.
Jamel Lane played for Coach Price there at Lynn. Frericks got away with a bump. Nice feed over to El Kamel, having a huge game.
Yeah, Barry did a little pick and roll down low. El Kamel ended up with it and was able to dunk it at the 4:40 mark. Cut the Tar lead to 9.
Frericks, now they back off a little bit on the man-to-man. The Grashayev will lob it to Butkus, and it'll be hit out of bounds by Jamel Lane coming back to help.
I think Jamel Lane did more than just help right there. I think he hacked Butkus, but there was no call at the 4:19 mark.
Bradley will check into the game. And Frericks going to inbound the ball. Almost threw that one away. That was a real lackadaisical inbound pass. Here's Malavec in the corner. Neiman will fire and hit another three.
Michael Neiman's found his sweet spot today. He's 3 of 4 from the field, and I think he's got 3 threes here at the 4-minute mark.
He's got 2 threes and a deuce.
2 threes and a deuce.
And Hernandez with the air ball, and it'll be a timeout on the floor. The Tars have built it up to 12. Everybody giving Neiman a little bump over there.
I think it all.
Barry came out quickly. El Kamel has put up 8, only averages 5, had 2 against Rollins down there. And Neiman has really been terrific coming off the bench.
So far for Barry, it's been El Kamel and Bradley and pray for rain. So 3:55, Tars lead 12 with the ball.
Neiman. Butkus out high. Ooh, they had a little room down there for Malavec. Now Neiman around the screen. Kicks it out to Frericks. Shot clock at 12 as Sergey looking back door. Now gives to Frericks, and he'll bury another 3.
Wow, Beau Frericks a little bit more animated today than he normally is and puts the Tars up 15.
Ooh, El Kamel got away with the
Yeah, but they were little steps.
And a nice drive and a spin move by Jamel Lane.
I agree with you. He walked, but they were definitely little steps. They weren't the big ones.
That's not in the rule book, I don't believe. I haven't looked lately. 9 points now as all over Butkus is Adrian Roberts. Let's see if they get a back door out of this situation. And Frericks again now stopping. Butkus will load up for 3.
Emily
buries
Buskett knocks it down. That's a 16-point lead for Rollins at the 2:49 mark of the first half.
Here's Hernandez. Gets it off to Bradley. Ooh, another little shuffle over there. They got away with. Hernandez to Jamel Lane. Malavec's all over him, and he will knock down a spinning 10-footer.
That was a pretty nice shot by Jamel Lane. Got into about 6 feet and had to throw it up high and got it to go and was fouled at the 2:32 mark.
At 23 against Rollins. 27 is his high for the year against his old team, the Lynn Fighting Knights.
That's nice to have a guy leave and then come back and score a bunch against you. That's always nice.
In the ball game will come Pete Moe. He's no relation to Doug Moe, for some of you old NBA fans. 14-point lead. Moe, Jamel Lane can make it 13. 62% shooter in this game, up and in.
Rollins 46, Barry 33 at the 2:32 mark of the first half.
Got to inbound it to William Jobe. Now we'll kick it to Neiman. Neiman picked up in backcourt by Bradley, and Neiman will cross the line. Now Frericks. Butkus being hounded by Jamel Lane. They're playing a lot of body away from the ball. As Malavec will drive. Kicks it over in the corner. Neiman up with another three. This one off the front iron. And will hit the score, the clock.
I'll tell you what, Michael Neiman's earned that shot. He's 3 for 4 up until that one. And I say if he gets an open look, catch and shoot, I really like him out around the three-point line.
We go
especially
down to
today.
2 minutes. Rollins with a 13-point lead. Butch Estes over there. Boy, he's won a ton of games in his career. He's won 211 at Barry. Well, we had some big games against them when they had Barrowetta and Elvar Fredrickson and that crew. 4 to shoot. 4 to shoot, and he's going to fire one up. Oh, my God. He banks
He's
it
laughing.
in. He is laughing.
Jamel Lane pulled up right inside the top of the key and banked it off the glass, straight on.
At least he saw the clock, you know. And here is William Jobe, and he gets bodied up by Pete Moe. Tars now will inbound. That's only the 4th foul on the Buccaneers. Inbounding is Malavec. And we'll get it to Frericks. 20 to shoot. 80 seconds remaining in the first half. William Jobe setting the screen. Malavec now to Frericks. Malavec on the wing with 10 to shoot. Malavec will put it on the floor and kick it off to Neiman. Backs up a step. Well, cannot get it to go.
Neiman couldn't get it to go, but it sure looked good. We're inside a minute to go here in the first half. Tars lead by 11.
Gabe Hernandez to Bradley. He will miss, and Frericks will come away with it. But Butkus was ahead of the pack. They did not see him. Now he gets the bounce pass, and he's working on Hernandez. And that ball is stolen away and will go out of bounds. They're going to foul on Neiman. Tars getting loose. They're stuck on 46 here.
Tell you what, we never got close to shooting free throws here in the first half. That's the 15th foul on Rollins, only 4 on Barry. 44 seconds left to go. We're more than likely not going to see a 1-and-1 free throw here.
That's not bad at all for getting a game rolling. And here comes Hernandez.
Be nice to go into the locker room with a double-digit lead. Going to need to stop Barry right here.
And Tars is setting up in a zone, 10-footer. And that's going to bounce around and miss, and Butkus will rebound. We've got a 3-second difference, shot clock and game clock.
Tars should run it all the way down.
Here's Frericks now working with the double team. Throws it away, got no help at all. And he got in trouble. And they can cut it down to a single-digit game.
Shot clock off, 10 seconds on the game clock. Barry wants timeout. That was kind of a lost opportunity for the Tars. They could have run it all the way down to about 3 seconds, got a shot up, prevented Barry from having an opportunity. Instead, the turnover, and now Barry's got it with 10 seconds.
Or Bradley, Bradley's over there. And look for a 3 from Bradley or a drive from Jamel Lane. Here's the inbounds with 10.6 over in front of the Rollins bench across the way. Gabe Hernandez setting it up. I don't know why you would. You just came out of a timeout. Here's Hernandez. Stop and go. And that's too easy.
Wow, I tell you,
that
Job
is way too easy.
Got down the lane, and Job tried to come over and head him off. But
nobody did. I mean, it was just a 7-0 run, and the Tars will go to the dressing room with a 9-point lead. No crew here. And we're getting ready to go. Tars in the white, blue numbers, blue and gold trim. Will have the first possession going right to left. Barry in the black with white numbers, white and red trim. They have Barry U. They make a big deal out of the U. I'm not sure why, because University of Miami has that U, and they've used that for quite some time. Here is Frericks. First possession. Goes around a screen from Grishayev, and they backdoor, and Sergey will lay it up and in.
Just like that, Tars extend back out to 11 at the 19:30 mark. Got the whole second half to go.
Yeah, had a nice play coming out of the break, and here's Elkamel working on Grishayev, and he will flip one in and draw a foul. Wow, they have decided they are going to hit the big guy in the post, and he only had 2 against Rollins down there out of Fort Lauderdale, 6'8", but very wide body.
Elkamel's going to try and get 3 here the old-fashioned way.
62 three-point play. There's only one three-point play. There's 3-point shots. They are quite different as he hits the free throw. Here's Frericks on the dribble. 48-40. Grishayev guarded by Elkamel. Wide open is Frericks for 3, and it will not go. And Grishayev got to be careful going over the back. He tipped it out of bounds. Beau Frericks could not have been more open on the left wing.
Couldn't get that to go. 19-11 to go here in regulation. Tars lead by 8. Here comes Barry with the ball.
And Cameron Padgett having a few words to say to interim coach Kevin Hogan over there. Check that. That was Cedric Bennett over on the far side here. Here's the pounding down low to Elkamel, and he's going to score again.
That's a little too easy.
Yeah, he's using Grishayev, and he cuts the 16-point lead down to 6. Here's Sergey. Elkamel on him. Elkamel's already got a dozen. That matches his high for the season. And a whistle and a foul over on the far side. That will be the first foul on Elkamel. Grishayev has 3 in this ball game. Let me double check that. Yes, he does.
Each team with 1 in the second half.
And here's Butkus. Loads up a 3 and misses. Top of the key. So the Tars' best 3-point shooters have both missed open shots. And here's a long 3, and this one's going to end by Bradley. That's his 4th 3 of the game.
9-point halftime lead, cut to 3 now by Barry. 48-45 Rollins.
And Grishayev with Elkamel on him. Screen for Frericks. Elkamel, that was dumb. That was a mental mistake. He comes out off of the screen and bumps Frericks 5 feet from midcourt. And that will be his second, and his second in the last couple minutes. Tars need a bucket right here. This has been a 15-2 run. That's 15-2 for the Barry Buccaneers. There's Frericks down the lane. He goes, and that ball is blocked. And Grishayev got to shoot it. Butkus does, and he misses it. And the rebound, though, will come down in the hands of Grishayev, of Frericks. They did not hit the rim. Wally now will give it to Frericks. Tars, as Frericks now will throw it away. This should be an easy one for the Buccaneers, and is jammed by Lane. Now with 16. 17-2 run.
Kevin Hogan's going to have to think about a timeout, and he's already thought about it. He wants it. I think it's a good timeout at the 17-16 mark. It is a 17-2 run, but Barry split that between the end of the first half and the beginning of that.
They're getting right up in your face, chest to chest, man to man. And the officials are calling it fairly loose. And
they're letting them play, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about letting them play, but, that means fouls are not being called, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's Butkus, top of the key. Looking for Wally. Now they pound it to Sergey. Butkus around the screen will score.
Nice little set piece coming out of the timeout for Rollins. They isolate Butkus. He does what he does best, go to the basket. Score. Tars back up 3.
Hernandez, the lefty, on the dribble. 3 minutes and 10 seconds in. Backdoor Lane, and he used Malavex on that back door.
I'll tell you what Lane did. They're supposed to call in college basketball. He kind of did a pull-up on the rim. And they're supposed to kind of enforce that. They don't do that in the NBA, but in college when you do that.
1 point ball game as Malavex will go backdoor on Lane, returning the favor.
He has backdoor layups on both ends, and it's a 3-point Rollins lead again.
Jamel Lane for 3. That's off the mark. Nice rebound. Dylan Wally, and here comes the Georgia sophomore. Gets it over to Sergey. Sergey had room, didn't shoot it. Now backdoor, beautiful feed to Frericks by Sergey.
I'll tell you what, Rollins has 5 guys out. They're backdoor cutting Barry right now. Barry's kind of giving it back to him on the other end with some backdoor cuts. Stars lead 5.
Well, when you're playing that tight man-to-man, that's kind of what you want to look for, these backdoor cuts. Hernandez fires a 3. That's off the mark. He falls down, but nobody was near him. Here comes Dylan Wally. He will take it inside and decides not to shoot it. And now he's got it in the corner. Ball fake. El Kamel was all over him, and Wally will miss the shot. And the rebound will go out of bounds off the hands of Malavex.
Boy, Butkus really wanted the ball down low on the block against Gabe Hernandez, where he had size and strength over Hernandez. Wally couldn't get it to him.
First half, Ian Hart is in the ball game. Ian's a good shooter, has not scored in this ball game. 54-49, and Gabe Hernandez will let the ball roll into the front court. And in checking in for Barry is Jakari LeCount. Now the Tars will play a little bit of a zone jumper by Hernandez. 15-footer from the elbow for a jump shooter. That's pretty much a layup. 3-point Rollins lead. Here's Neiman. They had a back cut with Ian Hart, couldn't get it to him. Now he's got it, and he'll kick it back to Frericks. Again, playing extra tight defense with 10 to shoot. Ian Hart, need a 3, Ian.
Oh, wow. Ian Hart just magically appeared at the top out of nowhere, caught the ball in one motion, squared up, knocked down a 6-point Tar lead.
Here's Hernandez, carries that ball up around his shoulder and fires it over, and a 3 by Bradley.
Barry just seems to not want to go away today. Bradley hits a tough 3 there and cuts the Tar lead back to 3.
They have 6 threes, but Bradley has 5 of them. That's pretty much what he shoots, 33%. And we're going to have a foul away from the ball there. And that foul will be the second on the Barry Buccaneers, and that'll be the third on Roberts. Check that, it'll be the third on the team. Their scoreboard's a little slow today. He will come out, Roberts, and El Kamel, who had a quick break, will check back in.
3 team fouls, as Roberts said, on Barry, only 1 on Rollins here at the 14-21 mark.
Sergey's got to jump into the fray here. He's only got 5 points and driving and missing. And here's Kurshayev sticking it back and missing. And we're going to have 2 shot fouls? Is that what?
Yeah, Kurshayev grabbed the rebound, went back up, missed the shot, and Darrell Smith blew the whistle, said, you were fouled, I think, in the act. Yeah. 14:09 to go. Kurshayev to the line. He'll shoot 2. It's a 3-point game.
That's a third foul on El Kamel. That was a blessing right there. He's picked up these 3 fouls about the last 2 minutes.
Yes, that's right.
Here's Kushayev's free throw. Clank.
That meant no good.
They can see that if they're on the digital network, and they can hear that if they're. He makes the second one off the front rim and in. He's got 8 points. And Malavex out, Butkus back in. Butkus with he has 9 now. 6 minutes into this one. And Hernandez will let it roll near midcourt. El Camel out high. Will hand the ball off to Bradley, who has been hitting shots. Hits another one. He's got 19, averages 7.7 per game. Oh, Grashayev broke open. Ian Hart didn't see him. Neiman went back door as well. Here's Grashayev on that slip screen. Frericks stop and go, up and under. We'll shoot two.
Smart, cagey play there by Beau Frericks. Got Gabe Hernandez into a bad spot. Couldn't make the layup, but forced Hernandez to foul him at the 13:38 mark.
That's 5 team fouls on Barry.
Only one on Rollins, but Robert knows as well as I do that when we turn around in 2 or 3 minutes, that'll all be evened up.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, my goodness. 89% shooter misses the first. He's got 16 in this ball game, had 19 against Barry in the first meeting. Second free throw is good.
Tars 59, Buccaneers of Barry 56. You're listening to 91.5 FM WPRK in Winter Park, Florida, and around the world, this is Rollins men's basketball, heard on rollinsports.com.
And the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. William Jobe back in. There's Hernandez with Frericks on him around the screen. Ball fake. He'll go up again. He'll miss. Nice rebound, Ian Hart. They'll kick it out to Frericks. Here comes Beau. Lance, his dad, Kristen, his mom. And Jobe, that pass a little bit late, but they give it off to Ian Hart. Beautiful feed, William Jobe.
Unselfish Jobe. He looked for Hart, got him. He laid it in. Tars back up 5.
Here's Bradley. Bradley's been knocking down shots the whole game. Jamel Lane, he knocks down another one too. He's got 20.
Lane and Bradley are kind of believing in themselves right now. It's tough to make them go away. 3-point game.
Need him to go back to Lynn. Here's Frericks. El Camel. Should have been a block. No call. Butkus, Neiman need a 3. Got it.
Wow, big 3. Michael Neiman, right corner. He's been the difference maker today. Has Neiman. Tars back up 6.
He got 11. It's career high for him. There's Hernandez. Now Jamel Lane gives to Bradley, looking to shoot. Neiman on him. Nice job, Neiman. And here's Jamel Lane firing from just inside the top of the key. And Butkus will come away with the rebound. Frericks, 8 minutes into the second half. That was not an idea, a good idea. He tried to lob it into Jobe and knocked away. Wow. And Bradley another 3.
Bradley had like a 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-1. He pulled up for 3 and knocked it down. Cut the Tars lead to 3.
There's Jobe now, top of the key. El Camel on him. El Camel. And that ball is knocked away from Ian Hart. And driving and missing. Ian Hart is going to get whistled for a foul as Jakari LeCount knocked it out of his hands.
I thought Hart did a good job on defense. But
I did too.
Cameron Padgett didn't feel the same way. He blew the whistle.
Got 2 shots coming for Jakari LeCount. He's a 67% shooter. He's from Miami. He, like a lot of players now, wearing those
leg warmers?
Well, yeah, I guess you call them pressure socks type thing. Free throw is good. That's the first point off the bench for Barry. He can cut it to 1 and does. Here comes Frericks. El Camel is sitting at the moment. I think he was gassed. So you need Grashayev to get going. Now we got a foul out here on Morris, Dakota Morris. That's a 6th on foul.
There couldn't have been more contact, and Morris was complaining. Again, that's a 6 team on Barry, only 2 on Rollins.
They want to inbound. They get it to Grashayev. Sergey, don't hold that ball down by your waist. They whack at it. Jamel Lane is on him. Jamel Lane is much smaller as Butkus drives and scores. 3-point lead, 11 minutes remaining. Regulation. Grashayev got away with one there. Barry 15 to shoot. Well, a little shuffle going on there. And firing it back out high is Dakota Morris with 8 to shoot. And around the Duke of Paducah goes LeCount for his 4th point. Here comes Butkus. It's a 1-point game. Butkus driving and will shoot 2. That'll be the 7th foul on Barry, but it'll be a 2-shot foul.
This has been quite a second half. Both teams kind of up and down. I mean, it looks like there's defense out there, but not very many guys are stopping anybody else.
Defense is optional.
It's been optional here in the second half.
That was Dakota Morris picking up his 2nd foul, and Butkus hits the free throw.
Rollins 67, Barry 65. Butkus finishes the 2nd at 2 right here, trying to put the Tars up 3 at the 10:36 mark.
Frericks out, Ian Hart out, Kalina back in, and Malavex for Rollins. One more coming. Got them both. Butkus now with 13, averaging 18 and a half. Hernandez signaling what he wants. He's got a double screen set up there. And they look back door, and they hand it off to Bradley. He'll back up and throw it in the 3rd row.
Wow, Bradley threw that to absolutely nobody. In a game like this, you'll take unforced turnovers whenever you can get them.
They only had 1 in the first half, by the way. 1 turnover for them. And Kalina now is going to get double-teamed, and he will throw it to Malavex. And open is Butkus, and that ball tipped out of bounds. Grishayev was wide open. And Malavex did not see him.
I think Dakota Morris saved Barry's bacon right there.
Oh, he did.
He tipped the ball out of bounds. Otherwise, Butkus was going to catch it and lay it in.
Here's Grishayev, 15-footers off the mark. You could see that when it left his hand. And Bradley one more for 3.
I mean, Bradley to me has been really
7 threes.
He's been really efficient today too with all these threes.
We're tied. We're going to play about a half with a tie ball game. Here's Butkus. Over to Neiman. Neiman needs help. Gives to Grishayev. Sergey in the corner. Gives it off to Neiman. And he will miss. And will miss the stick back. Oh, my. 2 layups or missed. Bradley works it on the far side and driving. And committing a foul, I believe, was Malavex.
I think it's just out of bounds. I don't think there's a foul.
Is it? Okay. And he got a block. Here's Gabe Hernandez. Now works it to Bradley. Now they kick it down low, and that time I believe, let's see, they're going to get Neiman over the back. Ian Hart for Butkus. Stars have missed a couple of layups here. We're tied at 68. Stars lost by 6 down there in Miami. Miami Shores. There's no beach there nearby, though. Spinning is Bradley, and he will throw up a 15-footer.
Pretty good defense, Neiman. He kind of stopped Bradley in his tracks.
Kalina, Grishayev, Sergey. Slip screen, not there. Ian Hart. Good defense by the Buccaneers. They play all man-to-man. Nice backdoor, Kalina to Malavex.
Yeah, really nice pass, Kalina. He didn't have much room to thread the needle. He got it to Malavex, laid it in. Tars lead by 2 again.
Hernandez now in the corner. The 3 will be long. Tipped nicely by Sergey. And he will send out Kalina. He does not have numbers. And we'll get it over to Malavex. Rising for 3. Oh, he buries it.
Wow, Malavex right in front of the Rollins bench puts the Tars up 5.
And he only hits threes late in the half when you really need it. That ball is off the back iron. I think they're going to let Dakota Morris shoot all day. He's 1 for 6 on the year. Here's Neiman on the dribble. Now picks it up, gives to Grishayev. Malavex, he feels it again. Ooh, that's back iron. That looked good. And back comes Barry down 5. Malavex hits the floor. And Hernandez will miss the shot thanks to Grishayev. tipped out of bounds. Rollins basketball.
7:44 on the clock. Daryl Smith says Rollins basketball. Tars with a 5-point lead. That's the under 8-minute media.
Here comes Butkus to inbound the ball. Kalina, Frericks, William Job, and Ian Hart. Got a young lineup out there. Kalina.
They really do.
And Frericks, the only senior, as Kalina now has the ball tipped away and out of bounds. Got to be careful. Reaching in there was Jakari LeCount. He already has a couple of steals. Tars they have 4 seconds to get it across. They're going to set a screen here for Frericks, I believe. Let's see. Okay, we've got Cedric Bennett right in front of us here. Cedric is going to straighten things out as he usually does. Here's the inbounds pass now to Frericks. He's got Hernandez on him, and he will get it into the front court. Butkus. Nice pass to Frericks. And they kick it back out. They tried to double team here at midcourt. Got 9 to shoot. And they give it to Ian Hart. Frericks way out for 3. That front iron. Tars did not get anything good out of that possession. Jumper off the mark. Rebound will go off the hands of Barry.
7:04 to go here in regulation. Tars 73, Barry 68. Rollins basketball. Now's the time to get them a little bit here, Robert. They've been able to stop them. They need to convert on the offensive end and grow this lead a little bit.
Evan Welch out, Elkamel back in. And now they go into full court pressure are the Buccaneers. Here's William Job. And we'll give it over to Kalina. Kalina picked up in backcourt by Jakari LeCount. And Kalina on the dribble trying to set things up. And we'll give it over to Ian Hart. Hart wants to hand it to Frericks. Working a little weave. Kalina gets bounced around. And Kalina will bank one off the mark. Battle for the rebound underneath, and Barry wants it a little bit more. Here's LeCount to Jamel Lane. Lane in traffic. We're going to have a travel. That had to happen. He was spinning around and finally got the
I tell you what,
traveling call.
Yeah.
Tars now will inbound it in backcourt.
Smith called that right in front of the Barry bench. Nobody complained.
Well, because he traveled.
He traveled.
Yeah, but now they got to inbound the basketball, and they get it to Frericks, and he's double teamed nicely to Butkus. Got 4 on 3. Ian Hart. Oh, I'm not sure what he was doing. And it looked like a walk. And missing a layup on a 2-on-1 was Jamel Lane.
Wow, Lane went flying through there and missed a bunny. Tars still lead by 5. We crept under 6 to go. Tars with the ball.
Both teams with weird possessions. And there's Butkus. He scores. Tars with the last 7. Can they get another stop? Elkamel is back in. Malavex is picking him up instead of Grishaya for some reason. How they get it to him. He needs the help down there, does Malavex. And misses the shot, but gets fouled. Does Elkamel. He just bullies you down there.
That's right. I was getting ready to say Elkamel was down low. Malavex was on his back, and Elkamel just said, I'm going to bulldog you right to the rim.
Elkamel 0 for 1 from the line. 62% out of Fort Lauderdale. Ooh, he pulls that ball behind his head. Man, you can't shoot a free throw that way.
It's a weird free throw, but he puts arc on it. I don't know. You're right, though.
No, you lose. Well, anyway, it's harder to shoot. If they teach you free throws, don't put it behind your head. And that's what he's doing, but
you're right.
Missed them both.
He puts it behind his head to where he can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of that way. Neiman now into the front court. Tars by 7. And Neiman gets hacked, no call. Neiman needs help, gives to Malavex. In the corner, that's Butkus. Elkamel on him, drive on him, make him pick up his 4th foul. Butkus, there he goes. and scores.
Wow, Butkus took it into 3 guys, got it to go. The bucket's good. And Cedric Bennett's got the foul call.
Yeah, takes a while. That's a fourth on
Elkamel.
Elkamel.
You could have picked any one of 3 guys. Butkus took it in there. The Tars were up 9. Butkus can make it 10 at the 5:07 mark.
Does. He's got 18 now, right at his average.
That was kind of strange. He took it in there and 3 guys converged on him.
Well, yeah.
And
but that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
He set up Elkamel. And now to inbound the ball, here's Hernandez. He will wait till he gets into the front court and will pick it up. 1-on-4. He's got 4 men down low, and Neiman is on Hernandez, 15-footer. Short, well short. And nice defense, Neiman, and the rebound to Frericks. We go under 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Got to be careful with some of these passes. They jumped the passing lanes, does Barry, and that one tipped out of bounds by Barry.
Dakota Morris tipped that. He almost came up with the steal at the 4:44 mark.
And Frericks will inbound the ball. Malovich, you got to be ready. He was not ready for the inbounds pass, and now Butkus has got it. Butkus, they're very lackadaisical. You can't do that with Barry. They're jumping the passing lane. And now to inbound is Malovich across the way in front of the Rollins bench. They want to get it to Frericks, and they do. Frericks, 8 fouls now on Barry. So one more 1-and-1, and then it's a 2-shot double bonus. Frericks around the corner, and that's the 1-and-1.
4:32 reads the clock. That's the 18th foul.
Ninth.
The 19th foul on Barry. One more to be the double bonus for Rollins. The Tars, they've only got 14 fouls, so Barry's got some work to get into the 1-and-1.
That's the foul on Idrin Roberts, his 4th. And now Frericks at the line. 89% free throw shooter.
First is good, 79-68 Tars. Frericks going to try and make it 12 points at the 4:32 mark.
28 points in the opening game against Spring Hills, his high for the year. He's got one more. That's long. You could see that was long. Oh, my. He's just 2 for 4 from the line. That's very unusual. And that ball tipped out of bounds. No.
Cedric Bennett on the call, and he's going to.
Gee,
he's going to say that
not
Frericks.
Good. That's not good.
He's going to say Frericks blocked Hernandez at the 4:26 mark.
Hernandez was headed for the basket. Frericks was backing up, and the ball went off of Hernandez out of bounds. They got a break there. Looking inside, Jamel Lane's 6-footer is good. And now timeout by Barry.
79-70 Rollins. Timeout on the floor, 4:23 to go.
22 now for Jamel Lane.
After this.
And the Tars now to inbound the ball. Butkus against full court pressure. Neiman getting a lot of playing time in this game, and he's earned it. Here's Butkus. He can run the baseline if he wants. Does he know that? I don't think so. Here's Neiman.
Daryl Smith is going to say that Neiman leaned his shoulder into the defender. I think LeCount. And they're going to call that on Rollins at the 4:19 mark. So that's an ugly turnover.
That was an ugly inbounds pass. It put Neiman in the corner over there. And that ball is tipped. Another foul are they going to call?
That's the 6th team on Rollins. One more and Barry will be in the 1-and-1.
They are in the 1-and-1.
There we go. The board operator a tad slow, but here we go. They got it. I told you they'd even it up, Robert.
Yeah. That foul, the 4th on Grishayev. He had no business reaching over the back on that one. Come on, you got to be thinking out there. That shot is missed. Sergey with the rebound.
That's a big miss, front end of a 1-and-1 by Dakota Morris.
Yeah, Dakota Morris, 77% shooter on the year. Here's Frericks now to Butkus. They're overplaying. Somebody's got to have to get in there. That ball tipped out of bounds by Dakota Morris, I believe. No, that was Jakari LeCount.
Barry's pretty active here with 4 minutes to go.
Got 11 to shoot. You need to get the back door right here.
We talked about the media timeout coming under 4 minutes. It's 3:59. Dead ball when LeCount tipped it out of bounds. It's timeout on the floor. We come back. Rollins ball with a 9-point lead.
They're not going to call a timeout. I'm not sure why. I guess the media timeout was when he called the timeout. Butch Estes. Tars working around that little merry-go-round. Now they've got 10 to shoot. And the screen, well, careful by Grishayev. And Frericks will.
What a play by Emilis Butkus.
And it's not going to count. That was a shot clock violation.
Wow, Butkus came flying out.
I don't know why. They see the clock, and they're not moving the ball. Wow. And now inbounding it in backcourt.
Guys seem like they're in so much of a hurry, they're not taking care of the ball.
Yeah. Well, he had 10 to shoot, and he was in the backcourt. Here is Bradley. Now gives off to Hernandez. Baseline. Working on Grishayev, and that's a good idea. And that bucket by Roberts, his first points of the game. They've cut it to 7. The Tars have got to inbound. You know, I don't know why Butkus doesn't run the baseline on those inbounds plays. Now he can't run the baseline. He can run the baseline after the made basket. He's standing in one spot. Now he can't run the baseline. And here's Frericks. They kick it to Malavec. Somebody's got to be open here. They picking up the dribble now. Butkus in front of us. 18 to shoot. It's only a 7-point game as Butkus will take it all the way in. Malavec 3 won't go.
We're under 3 to go here in regulation. Here comes Barry down 7 with the ball.
Jamel Lane wants to shoot the ball. You can see that. That's off the mark. Nice rebound, Grishayev. He'll send out Butkus. Butkus on the dribble. Will take it down to the baseline. And he'll kick it off there. And what's the whistle? Tipped out of bounds. 2:45 remaining. Tars need a bucket, up by 7. They've had trouble on the inbounds. Here we go. Grishayev need a bucket. No, too long. Oh, come on. Butkus tipped the rebound instead of grabbing it.
Problem is he tipped it to a Barry player.
Wow. Tars are slipping back to where they were at the beginning of the half and driving it and throwing it down low and jamming it easily is Roberts.
Tars lead by 5.
Now run the baseline, Butkus. Run the base. There he goes. Up by 5. 2-shot fouls, all of them.
Barry pressing three-quarter court, and in the press they committed a foul, says Cameron Padgett. It was on Beau Frericks at the 2:11 mark. He'll go to the line and shoot the double bonus.
Jakari LeCount, that was, Butch Estes shaking his head over there. That was not. He runs over to the far sideline and bumps into Frericks. Wow. You got to be thinking, don't you? Here's Frericks up, in.
Tars 80, Barry 74, 2:11 to go. Frericks for the second to put the Tars up 7.
Shayev with 4 fouls. Got to be careful. Frericks got them both. Timeout. 2:11 remaining. Boy, they're double teaming everything, and the Tars have yet to. I haven't thought about those games, honestly.
And the Eagles or
been busy. Wednesday night we had a game. Thursday night I had a game.
Do you like the Commanders? A guy like you will get behind the Commanders.
Come on. Don't let him roll it. Yeah, make him pick it up. Now here's Jamel Lane. They want to look for Bradley. There's Bradley. And he will throw up a 6-footer and miss the shot over the back or tipped out of bounds.
I think that's a good call by Cameron Padgett. That was Dakota Morris on a couple backs, got called for it at the 2-minute mark. That's going to be a double bonus for the Rollins again, up 7.
And Michael Kalina is having a few words with Roberts. He's fouled out of the game, has Roberts. He only get 5. And Butch Estes is taking his full, I think he got 30 seconds. El Kamel with 4 fouls will check in. Big free throws for Sergey. 2 minutes exactly remaining as the big left-hander will load up and sink it. Having a sensational senior year. He's looking for his 10th point here, the big lefty, for a 9-point lead. Up, in. Kalina out and Neiman in. Don't let him roll it up. Come get him. Come get him. I don't like this. There you go. All right, he picks it up. The clock will start. Jamel Lane is going to spin in traffic and turn around and knock down a 12-footer.
Cuts the Tar lead to 7, 83-76, 149.
That's way easier. You can run the baseline, and here's Butkus. Got 7 to get it across, and here he goes. And he will get it to Malavex. And alone underneath is Butkus. What a pass by Malavex.
Yeah, Malavex kept his head high and saw Butkus underneath, threw it to him, 9-point Tar lead. How do you say it? 90 seconds to go.
Hernandez stop and go. Good defense again by Malavex. Hernandez now with 80 seconds left. His left-handed shot is off the mark. Sergey, great block out. And Frericks with the rebound with 70 seconds. He's the man you want with the ball. Malavex out of Grishayev. And they get it over to Neiman. Yeah, you need it to somebody else. There you go. Sergey had shot some free throws. What are they calling?
I have no idea. The call came from Cameron Padgett across the court.
Was
Kevin
his foot
Hogan
on the line?
Rollins' bench isn't arguing too much, but if it is, that would be terrible.
Now you're going to don't let him roll it. There you go. He's going to make him pick it up. 58-57. Here's Hernandez with the ball around an El Camel screen. Hernandez will pound it to Jamel Lane to get him some help. Butkus needs help, and the jumper is going to be pure. That kid can shoot it.
Nice pull-up over Butkus by Lane.
Wow.
Barry cuts it to 7-point game with 47.8 seconds to go.
Going to take out Neiman and say they cannot replace him with Kalina on this possession. That's interesting. All right, let's see what they're going to do. Now they're going to try to inbound the basketball, and they do to Grishayev. He will take it all the way. Oh, they say the foul occurred on the floor.
Daryl Smith, that was Daryl Smith on the call. And Grishayev laid it in. It did go in. It was challenged. Smith said the foul occurred before he elevated. I don't know if I buy any of that, but
I don't know
Grishayev's going to get 2.
They did, Butkus did a pass like that to Kalina.
Yeah.
In the previous game with Embry-Riddle. Free throw is good.
Sergey gives the Tars an 8-point lead, going to try and make it 9 here at the 47-second mark.
9 would be a full 3-possession lead. Left-handed shot is good again.
Rollins 87, Barry 78.
Put a little pressure on here.
They are.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're backing up and they're letting him. There you go. Okay. 3-point shot is way off the mark. That ball's tipped out, but Barry will get it back again. Shot on the baseline. Now it's back out high. 3-pointer is short. Rebound to Grishayev will shoot 2 more.
The opera's not over, Robert, till the fat lady sings, but with 33 seconds to go and a 9-point lead and the Tars going to the line, she's definitely clearing her throat.
Sergey coming off a career-high 30. I've got him unofficially with a dozen, but he's had a lot of rebounds. He's been playing good defense.
Roberts mentioned it earlier. The Tars will be off this Wednesday. It's a bye week. Then we'll play next Saturday at 4 a.m.
Short. You can see that one.
You
need this one to make it a 4-possession game.
The Sailfish of Palm Beach Atlantic at the Rubin Arena in downtown West Palm Beach.
You need this one up and in.
88-78 Tars.
Now don't let him. Don't let him. Oh, man, I don't like that. There he goes. Blocked by Grishayev. Oh, no, they're going to call the 5th foul on Sergey. He had no business trying to block that, though.
That was Cedric Bennett.
That was not a good idea, Sergey. Now he's got to come out, and he got 2 shots coming. for Reggie Reinhardt. Let him score. You got to stay in the game. That was not a good idea.
I'll tell you what, though, Sergey's gotten better defensively at coming over and trying to help guys
from
out.
My angle, that was a block.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot there either, but Cedric Bennett called it like he saw something.
And he's such a good free throw shooter. In this half, unofficially, he's 6 for 8. And the free throw is good by Reinhardt, who's now 8 of 10 on the year. His first points of the game. He can cut it to 8, and you know they're going to foul. And here goes Butkus to inbound the ball. Butkus going to run the baseline. They're holding on to Frericks. That ball tipped away, and they will inbound but not be able to run the baseline in a very difficult spot. You can watch. Kalina's going to take off and run. Watch. No, he's not. Let's see. Now they go around in the merry-go-round. Now Malavex is going to take off and run. And that ball tipped out of bounds. Kalina was open, but they want to get it to Frericks, the free throw shooter.
Shot clock is off, 26 seconds on the game clock. Tar's trying to get it inbound and make Barry foul him.
Yeah, there's Frericks, and there's Hart, and there's Butkus, and here goes Butkus. They're not fouling. I don't know why. Check it off. Kalina, give it to Frericks.
I don't think they're.
16. Wow. Why didn't they foul?
It doesn't matter. 14 seconds to go. Barry fouls. 8-point game.
Well, why did they let him go?
Yeah.
They had at least 3 chances to foul. They had a chance to foul Ian Hart, who had just checked into the ball game. Beau Frericks. Now they pull everybody off the line.
Rollins 89, Barry 80 on the Frericks make. He's going to try and make it a 10-point game right here with 14 seconds to go.
Boy, has he been a huge plus coming down from Lewis University up in Cary, Illinois, driving. That ball tipped nicely by Hart. 8 seconds remain. 3 comes up from the corner. It won't go. Tipped up, no good, and
that's
it. 90-80 is our final score.
Both teams shorthanded, but a pretty workmanlike effort today by the Tars to come out here and get this done. This is
I'll buy that word.